Yeah, this is the Marv 800 back once again, and I just wanted to quickly review my Hulk Hogan DVDs, and I have 4 of them here. I wanted to go over all 4 of my Hulk Hogan DVDs I got and tell you which are my favorite matches and that on them and stuff. Now the first one is Hulk Still Rules, which came out in 2002, which I think is out of print now, but it's really easy to find Hulk Stories. You can pretty well find this one anywhere though. It's from 2002. It's a really good DVD. I like this one. It's the best one to get story wise. I mean, it's got a good story to it. It's got some good matches. I just wish they would have put more rare matches on this one, but they put a lot of Hogan's more well known matches on this. I was hoping they were going to do more with his more rare stuff, but before he was the Idol of Millions, before he was Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea was a fan with a dream, but even he couldn't imagine where that dream would lead. No one in sports entertainment has had quite the ride that Hollywood Hulk Hogan has. For the past 18 years, he has been the single most recognizable person in all of the industry, and for the majority of this 25-year career, he has been on the short list of Games Elite headlining wherever he went and creating a cultural movement called Hulkamania. In process, this is his story. DVD extras, over 4 hours of bonus material, 15 rare classic matches spanning his entire career, including his Madison Square Garden debut from '79, bonus interviews, and interactive menus. Okay. So, the best part I like about this DVD, if I had to pick my favorite parts that they put on this DVD extras-wise, I would say Hogan versus Andre from Shea Stadium for sure, from August of 1980. That is a rare match. You can't get that match anywhere else but on this DVD. Also, his debut match at Madison Square Garden versus Ted DiBiase from December 17, '79. And the Puerto Rican Downpour versus Big John Studd's pretty rare as well. The rest of the stuff they put on there is pretty common to find, but those were some pretty rare ones. So, and that match from All-Star Wrestling, that handicap match you had on here against, I forget who he was fighting, some jobber wrestler, I believe. It's pretty rare to have on this disc too. So there's Hulk Still Rules. The next one is Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Anthology. Now, I wasn't stuck on this one as much as everybody else's because all the matches are too common on here. I was hoping they were going to put some more rare, like more Japanese stuff in that on here. I was hoping, but it's not too bad of a set, the 3 discs. Everybody probably has this one, the Ultimate Anthology. Not too bad, but they could have done better with it. The Hogan versus Nick Bockwinkel match was pretty good. They put that one on there from April 24th, '83 for the AWA Championship, where Hogan won it, and then they found at the end they take the championship away from him because he threw Nick Bockwinkel over the rope. Was a pretty good one. The Hogan versus Big John Studd one for Madison Square Garden was pretty good. But a lot of the other matches, like Hogan versus Andre, I mean, people seen that from WrestleMania, I think, like a million bazillion times. And of course, they put that one on there. It was also on the Hulk Still Rules too, and so was the Hogan versus Orndorff match from Toronto, the big event. They also put that one on here too, which is on both Hulk Still Rules and the Ultimate Anthology. But all in all, I thought it was an okay set. But like I said, I wish they would have put more of his WCW stuff too. They didn't put a lot of WCW on here either. They put very little WCW matches on here. And it's matches people seen a million times, like Hogan versus Flair from Bash at the Beach '94 and stuff like that. And then, of course, Scott Rock versus Hogan from WrestleMania 18 on here. Hogan versus Shawn Michaels from SummerSlam '05, which wasn't a bad match. Not the best, but wasn't too bad. Hogan versus Triple H from Backlash. And, of course, the Edge and Hogan versus Billy and Chuck, which I think you can get on a couple of his DVDs. But anyways, all in all, not too bad of a DVD. But they could have put, like I said, I was hoping they were going to put a little bit more rare matches on it, but not too bad. Okay, next one is Hulk Hogan Unreleased Collector Series. Oh, this one has got some really rare matches on it. This is the best Hulk Hogan. Out of all the WWE DVDs, this is the one I'd pick match-wise for matches, other than the Hulk Stories because of the story, but this was the one I'd pick matches-wise because this has got a lot of rare matches on it. Like Hogan versus Bob Backlund from the Spectrum for the WWF Championship. It's got Hogan versus Andre the Giant from Madison Square Garden 1980. It's got his match against Rick Rude from the Boston Garden, which is pretty rare. It's got, let me open the insert and get a look and see what else is on here, which is pretty good they put on the set. The handicap match, Hogan versus Steve King and Angelo Gomez, was pretty rare. The handicap match with him against Nick Bockwinkel and Bobby Heenan from AWA, which is May 2nd, '81, which that is it's probably May 2nd, '82, because in May of '81, Hogan was still with the WWE then. Hogan did come over to the AWA, I believe, until July of that year, so that's definitely a misprint. They got May of '81. And Hulk Hogan and Junkyard Dog team up in Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens against Stud and Bunny. That was one of my favorites I put on that set. And also Hogan versus Kamala from Houston, Texas is a really good one. Hogan versus the Gang from Philadelphia, from the Philadelphia Spectrum is really good. And I really enjoyed them putting on the Hogan and Flair match from 2002's Raw, which was pretty good. Let's see, what was the actual date on here? Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, the WWE Undisputed Championship match, Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Nature Boy Ric Flair from Raw, May 13th, 2002. Which was really good. So all in all, this set's really good. This would be my favorite Hogan out of all the WWE DVD releases. This is the one I'd go with because the matches on here are just sick on this collection. So this would be the collection I'd pick out of all the WWE DVDs. And then out of the Ichiban set, which I picked up from High Spots, Hulk Hogan Ichiban. I thought they did a pretty good job. That's why mine has a couple of matches where it freezes. I don't know if everybody's sets like that, but mine's got a couple of them where the matches freeze up a little bit. Is the only thing I didn't like. My favorite matches on this set is Hogan versus Bob Backlund. Hogan and Stan Hansen versus Tony Inoki and Dusty Rhodes was really good. Hogan versus Inoki from December 1st, 81. The match where Inoki makes Hogan submit at the end of it. Inoki, one of the very few, other than I believe Kurt Angle, to make Hogan submit. And also it's got Hogan versus Abdullah the Butcher, which I really enjoy. That was a wild match, one of my favorites. And the one Hogan versus Andre match was really good in here too. Hogan actually went up to the top rope and jumped off to nail Andre in that match, which is really rare because you never usually see Hogan going up to the top rope too much, but he does in that match. And another one that I thought was really good was Hogan and Antonio Inoki versus Brutus Beefcake and Sergeant Slaughter. To see Beefcake in that match, I think he was still competing as Ed Leslie then, I believe, but they just had Brutus Beefcake because everybody knows the name Brutus Beefcake, but I think he was still under his actual name Ed Leslie then. He had really long blonde hair and it didn't even look like Brutus the Barber, which was a pretty good one from 82. And also Hogan versus Inoki for the IWGP Heavyweight title, where Hogan knocks out Inoki to win the title and become the first IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And Hogan versus Hansen from 90, which was really good, which was a WWF Super Card show, I believe. That was a card that Vince McMahon put on. And also Hogan versus the Great Muta was a good one. And the only couple of matches on here I really didn't care for in this set was the Hogan and Mike Sharp match. I don't know, putting Hogan with Mike Sharp, I don't know, that's just kind of weird. And Hogan and Inoki versus Adonis and Murdoch was good. Too. At the end of that, I believe Andre interfered in that match. I can't believe how much the Japanese people hated Andre. I mean, was he ever a good heel over in Japan, Andre the Giant? They just booed his ass out of the building. And that one match where him and I believe there was some other guy that interfered with him too, and I can't remember who it was that interfered in the match. At the end of that match with Hogan and Inoki against Adonis and Murdoch, I can't remember who it was. But anyways, all in all, this is a really good set to have too, this 3-disc set. So a really good set. This is my favorite. Of all the Hulk Hogan DVDs I own, this is my favorite, the Ichiban set. Because WWE, like I said, doesn't own the rights to these old Japanese matches, so you'll never see Vince McMahon put these on DVD. So the only way you're going to get these matches is to get the DVD from High Spots, which is a good 3-disc set. Like I said, the picture's really good too, like I said with these. The only thing I didn't like was the freezing. But the pictures were really good, and especially them older matches from the early 80s. Man, they did a good job with the pictures on it for being older matches. They did a really good job on this. Like I said on my earlier video when I did the video on this, I give this, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this DVD a 10. This is just an awesome set. So this would definitely be my favorite of all the Hulk Hogan ones. And like I said, all my favorite out of the 3 Hogan DVDs made by WWE would be Hulk Hogan Unreleased Collector Series. Would be my favorite just because the match quality on it's a lot better. The other two, the matches were too common that they put on, especially Hogan versus Andre from WrestleMania 3, which I'm glad they didn't put on this set. They put the one from Madison Square Garden where Gorilla Monsoon was special guest referee, which was better. So, anyways, that's been me showing you my Hulk Hogan DVDs. This has been the Marv 800, and I'm out. Peace.